Australia taking on the West Indies here at the Wanderers. Not a packed ground at this point in time, but in every which way, a meaningful match. Australia defending champions in the ICC Champions Trophy, and they've come in today without Bracken, without Michael Clark. Their vice captain Callum Ferguson is in, and Peter Siddle will form the bowling attack along with Brett Lee, Mitchell Johnson, Nathan Horrocks for the West Indies. One change in that Kemar Roach, a promising young fast bowler in his early 20s out of Barbados, replaces his fellow Barbadian Tino Best, who was not at his best in the first match here a couple of nights ago, so that should make for some interesting viewing. West Indies won the toss and elected to bowl first. It's a good morning.
Shane Watson, who's had a lot of success at the top of the order in Test cricket recent times, and he got that opportunity because he was opening in the one-day game, and he's been able to transform himself into an opener in the Test arena. And he's got Tim Payne, the keeper, with him.
And knocked him over straight away. He does bowl full when he starts, but he's quick through the air. And Watson certainly surprised and certainly beaten for pace. This is the perfect start here by the West Indies. And what a start to this match.
Well, Shane Watson was looking at the umpire. A little bit of late swing as well there for Roach, but after he heard the death rattle, he turned and he sort of looked at the umpire as if to say, well, wasn't that a trialer? He got the shock of his life. He couldn't believe that he'd received such a good ball first up. It was a beauty. Australia have lost a wicket without a run on the board.
The new batsman is the Australian captain Ricky Ponting, arriving at the crease much earlier than he would have anticipated. Of course, you've got to anticipate the early fall of a wicket when you come in at 3, but after one ball, he'll be a little bit surprised, but nevertheless, he'll be hoping that he's prepared. But what a start by Kemar Roach. Very promising young fast bowler. Wow, uneven bounce. I think that may just be uneven bounce because as hard as the pitch is, Roach is a short man, and that reared up from just short of a good length apparently.
Well, I think as a batsman you prepare yourself for a bit of uneven bounce when you see a lot of cracks. There's a hell of a lot of cracks in this pitch.
Nice. Balance was good from Ricky Ponting, and the timing was perfect. Just a little too full, and on leg stump from Gavin Tong. First boundary of the Australian innings.
Well, this is another thing that puts Ricky Ponting in a class above the other batsmen in the Australian side. Even on a pitch that is slightly in favour of the bowlers, you give him something that's even remotely loose and he'll pick it off and hit it to the boundary. He very rarely misses any opportunity.
Nice control from Ricky Ponting again. Even on a hard bouncy surface, if you're slightly off target, he will punish you. Great composure.
Well, that's unfortunate if that runs away before it does. But he's got something about him. We saw him getting those wickets against Pakistan a couple of nights ago.
Yes, it's been a good opening spell, but now the Australians getting boundaries and beginning to open out. Ricky Ponting looking extremely good. And Payne, of course, keeping company. He's got 11 off 25. He's had to work hard. That one taking the inside edge.
Down the pitch. Well, that really was audacious. And Gavin Tong put away. He's gone for 20 and 4. It's 50 for 1, 50 up for Australia. Oh, that is so good. Just rocked back onto the back foot. But he was always in control of the shot. And that's another boundary for the Aussie skipper. That's 6 now.
Yes, none of the fielders on the offside moved a muscle. He got into position so quickly. Opened the face of the bat so that he could hit it over that fielder at extra cover. This time he gets a boundary on the off.
Well, you see, there's something in it for the bowlers. This Wanderers pitch, there's something early on. It's still just gone 10:15 in the morning, and Ricky Ponting will be just a little sore after that. Look how this jags back, and it's hit him in the stomach.
Yes, jagged back and bounced. Did both. And so he's missed it. But the Australian batsman despair.
Oh, that's beautifully bowled again. Darren Sammy this time. Well, there's demons in this Wanderers pitch, and the West Indies are fancying taking one or two sticks. Look at that. They've got a stick, unfortunately. Chadwick Walton playing only his second one-day international, and really that hasn't gone too far to his right. That really should have been taken.
Oh, lovely shot down the ground. Slower ball, just rolled his fingers across it. Did Tong, but it was easily met by Tim Payne.
Third boundary for Tim Payne. He's had to do the hard work this morning. He's been hit quite a few times, but to his credit, he's hung in there. That was a convincing shot.
Oh, that's another ripper into the gloves of Ricky Ponting. He's not enjoying this at all. Just that extra bounce.
I just wonder whether this delivery hit one of those cracks. I saw a few cracks last night. They probably opened up a bit because the same pitch is being used this morning as well. So that just reared off a length. Nasty delivery. Could so easily lead to a broken finger or a broken hand.
It's wide, and it's a chance, is it? No. We stopped the fieldsman. Wow. Nikita Miller was the man, and I just get the feeling Kepler, he should have kept running.
He should have. He bailed out. That ball was in the air for a long time, and he just stopped.
Oh, there it is. Little inside edge, is it? Or outside edge might have seemed away, but it's got an edge of some sort straight through to the keeper. Chadwick Walton makes no mistake this time, a little more straightforward. But it is Tim Payne, the man who has to go.
Well, Tim Payne was getting a bit frustrated. You could see that in the previous over when he was looking for the big shots. This time, he tried to play through the offside. The ball wasn't full enough to drive. He really didn't get himself in a good position. The simplest of catches through to Walton. So Tim Payne, he battled hard. He tried his best under difficult conditions. He's gone for 33. Australia now 85 for 2.
Mike Hussey is the new batsman. Terrific one-day international record. Oh, it's a good bit of fielding.
Excellent fielding. That was a good shot by Ricky Ponting. He hit that on drive very firmly. Good balance as well. And a diving stop at short mid-wicket.
Picked up down to fine leg and over fine leg. Just over as well. Gavin Tong had walked in maybe about 6 yards or so. And you always say if you had been back on the line, but it's not the custom to stand still. Might have gone straight down his throat. Yeah, he's come in. In fact, he's jogged in a bit. He might have misjudged it as well.
Definitely misjudged it. He's come forward as well as being inside the rope from walking in.
Lovely. Oh, how sweet is that? Ricky Ponting brings up his 50 off just 63 balls, folks, and on a pitch that is not the easiest on which to bat against good bowling. That's going to go for 4-2. Couple of attempts, one from Richards and one from mid-off, who got a hand to it. Not enough to stop it.
It can be lightning fast, this ground here at Wanderers.
No, that's a direct hit. That is a direct hit. It was surprising to have a direct hit from there, but Ponting is very quick. I thought he might have been home, but I suppose the replays will confirm or deny that.
Well, Ponting doesn't seem too worried about it. I thought it was pretty close, just watching it with the naked eye, but Ricky Ponting seems pretty confident he's home, and that's why he was well and truly home.
Oh, there we go. That's high. Now this should stay within the confines of the ropes. And it's taken. Fletcher, Andre Fletcher is the man at fine leg. And usually you shiver a bit when you see him under a Skyer. But he's held on safely, and Hussey falls cheaply.
Top edge there for Michael Hussey. He really wasn't. I don't think he was trying to sky that ball. It was just the top edge. And eventually Fletcher hangs on. It's 120 for 3.
Callum Ferguson is the new batsman, and the thought is he may not have played had Michael Clarke been fit. Oh, that has flown down there rather quickly. The ball does really travel across this well-carpeted outfield quite beautifully. And Bernard really struggling with his line. Couple of wides in the over and getting 2 straight.
It's also a very short boundary down there. It was a sweet piece of timing. I think there have been way too many balls on the pads on a pitch where you really need to just hammer away on off stump.
That's too short. And it's pulled away for 4. He hasn't bowled too many bad balls, Gavin Tong, but that was too short.
Yes, Ricky Ponting has played a few square. He's helped it along, played some hook shots, but this time he hits it in the direction of mid-wicket. It was very short, enough time to rock back. He just rocks back and hits it over that short mid-wicket fielder. This time from the edge of the crease.
Look at that. Yes, he's gone. Ponting stretched forward, and Miller has got the Aussie skipper. Tony Hill, the umpire, at square leg. The finger went up. Ponting was out of his crease, and that is a big one for Miller to bag. Look at this. Nice piece of keeping by Chadwick Walton, and Ponting's on the way back.
Yes, it was the flight that deceived Ponting. Just put that up in there a little longer, held it back, hold it from the edge of the crease, and deceived Ponting. Stretched forward, beat him in the air. 79 for Ponting, 148 for 4.
Cameron White, 26 years of age, with a one-day international average of 31, right-hand bat, and he comes in now. Oh, look at that edge, and that will streak away for 4.
Yes, genuine edge. Roach once again deceiving the batsman, but he's got to go unrewarded because there's no one in the slip cordon, and it's a very, very fast outfield today. The sun baking down on this ground, and the ball just racing away there.
Bowled him. How about that for a piece of bowling? What a spell this is by Nikita Miller. He's removed the captain, and now he's got Cameron White, and that is half the Australian side back in the dressing room. Well bowled, Nikita Miller.
Yes, wonderful stuff. Just caught on the crease. He didn't go forward, didn't go back. In the end, just shuffling, but too late. And that's his celebration, the Jamaican way. A wicket for Miller. And now 162 for 5 with White going for 4.
James Hopes is in for Australia. And that's a confident start, isn't it? But what another good over we've seen from the left-arm Jamaican spin of Nikita Miller. 35 gone, 163 for 5, Australia.
looked like a bit of an inside edge, I think. And another wicket, another big blow for Roach. Callum Ferguson, the set man, the man that was in, he has to depart. Well, the West Indies, flags are waving.
Well, didn't do that much. Ordinary stroke, really, this time. That delivery was pretty straight, but Callum Ferguson playing away from his body off the inside edge, and Australia collapsing. So joy for the West Indies. Roach strikes. Callum Ferguson is gone for 20. Australia 164 for 6.
So Mitchell Johnson is the new batsman for Australia. Just starting to lose a few wickets here now. 148, 162 and 164. And good fielding. They're backed up well too by the fielders.
Come over, Scorcher. Come over, Scorcher.
That's a good delivery. There's an appeal. Nothing from umpire Tony Hill. So is there a hint of an outside edge? Or is it more optimistic?
Mitchell Johnson was pretty optimistic, going for the big booming drive. No footwork whatsoever. It was a long way away from that ball. Tough to tell, but half-hearted appeal there from the keeper. Sammy thought he heard something.
Oh, that's a beauty. He's got him this time. He has. Yes, it's nipped away. Picked up the outside edge of James Hope's back. Tony Hill says, yes, there was a little outside edge. And Darren Sammy has some reward.
More trouble for Australia. James Hopes is gone. Darren Sammy richly deserves this wicket. He should have had one earlier in the day, but this time, no problem whatsoever for the keeper. Didn't really do much. Maybe just bounced on James Hopes. Wasn't full enough to drive. So Hopes is gone. And Australia now in all sorts of bother at 171 for 7.
And Brett Lee is the new batsman.
Well, this ball didn't do too much. Some of the others today did, but it just wasn't full enough to drive. James Hopes, no footwork. It was a little bit of extra bounce, maybe, but he'll be disappointed with that shot. But not Darren Sammy. He's deserved that wicket.
Oh, chance, so just a little slow. Maybe it was Darren Sammy, the fieldsman, I think, just caught on his heels a little bit. I don't think Brett Lee thought there was always a run there. Mitchell Johnson, a little slow to take off.
Would have been tight. There was a good throw.
They go up, they go up, they go up. They've gone up. And Asad Ralph was unmoved.
What seemed to be a pretty concerted appeal and immediate from the wicketkeeper. Big drive attempted by Mitchell Johnson. You could see the keeper was up straight away. The bowler was up pretty well straight away.
Yeah, there's a huge noise. Good pull shot. What a pull shot. Oh, tongue is down.
Smashed by Mitchell Johnson. You can see there the bowler was starting to clutch sort of midriff around there, and then he went down in huge pain.
He's found the gap. And found the gap quite beautifully, Brett Lee. First ball of the batting power play is crunched away by Mitchell Johnson, whose batting has gone from strength to strength, particularly over the last year. He's become a dangerous lower batsman.
Yeah, he really is. He's made a test century, and I think he'll probably make one or two more. because he's got a reasonable defence. He can keep the good ones out, but the thing that's really makes him such a good lower order player is he's got a hell of a wide range of shots.
That's high. Mid-on is running back. It'll land safely. Whoops.
Well, that brings up the 200 for Australia. That stayed up for a long, long time, but mid-off is very, very wide. If he'd have been straight, he would have swallowed that.
And he goes leg side. He goes over mid-wicket as called by Ian Chappell, but mid-wicket would have had to be on the grass banks to be effective. And he's not. That is a big hit.
Well, the best chance the West Indian had of catching that was if somebody had jumped out of the pavilion, because it was landing pretty close to the pavilion. Here's a wonderful strike with the ball. Very clean strike of the ball, and that is a favourite slot for Mitchell Johnson. He loves to go over mid-wicket.
And it's gone straight over him and onto the grass banks once again. West Indies have very little in terms of specialist power play bowling. And that is another huge blow.
Yeah, I don't think Mitchell Johnson will even worry about the fact that mid-wicket's back now. In this sort of mood, I think he'll just look at him and say, right, I'm going to hit it there anyhow, and if I get it, it's going to be 6.
Town so far looking to go full and straight. 50 partnership comes up from 43 balls. And it took Australia from a little bit of a precarious position at 171 for 7. That's very clever batting. Mentioned Tong looking to bowl straight and really on the off stump or just outside, and Johnson just walked across, anticipating the consistent line and flicked it away nicely.
He got it on the full. That's what enabled him to get it away so comfortably.
That's squeezed away for 4. That is slightly luckier than the piece of innovation we saw 2 balls ago, but the result is the same. 47 overs gone, 230 for 7. Oh, that is unfortunate. But at this stage of the innings, anything goes. Rafa can't believe it. Top edged over the head of Chadwick Walton. And they're swinging from the hip in this power play. These are valuable runs for Australia.
Good thick edge, just thick enough to clear the keeper.
No, Bretley would have been gone. Bretley had really given up.
Roach fired it very, very hard. He probably could have taken just a fraction longer to get his aim.
That's eludes third man. It's a slow ball. There wasn't a great deal of pace on it. And there's a run out. That is a comedy of errors. Lee had survived a run out opportunity before to Kemar Roach earlier in the over. And now just miscommunication. They probably communicate better by email, these two.
Perhaps not showing enough respect for the wicketkeeper's arm, because in the end it was the keeper who had to chase the ball because the short third man had dived. Mitchell Johnson was coming and then sent him back. And Bretley was miles out of his crease. So the wicketkeeper will be very happy that he's been involved in a run out in that way. It's 241 for 8.
Nathan Horrocks replaces Bretley. 2 overs left in the innings. That'll be another boundary. 50 as well for Mitchell Johnson, his first in one-day international cricket. And I think it proves to Ian Chappell something of the skill of fast bowlers.
He's got a lot of skill, Mitchell Johnson. You throw in his fielding as well. He's got a magnificent arm. Yeah, but I mean, it's pretty common knowledge amongst cricketers. You put two quickies together and there's almost certain to be a run out.
Good hit again. He loves that area. He's peppered it for the third time.
Yeah, he did that easily. There's no big swing. A slower ball, I'd say he's picked it pretty early.
It's gone away for 4. It's really fallen apart for the West Indies over the last 7 or 8 overs. It really has fallen apart. Their lack of depth has been exposed here at the back end. And to end the innings, Johnson ends it in emphatic fashion. What a hand he has played. What disappointment for Floyd Rafer after the West Indies fought back for a period. 275 for Ricky Ponting was very good. 79 off 95 balls, 73 to Mitchell Johnson as well. So the West Indies will have to buck up quite quickly on what is probably their weaker suit, their batting, because they'll be challenged in heading towards that 276 at over 5.5 per over. Welcome back to the Wanderers, folks, as we get set for the second half of another match in the ICC Champions Trophy. Australia taking on the West Indies in Group A. Bright sunshine here at the Wanderers as well, and a very pleasant day indeed if you're a watcher, even if you're a player. Australia having been put in after the West Indies won the toss, got to 275 for 8. There were two main contributors, Ricky Ponting, who played rather fluently but not without the odd moment of difficulty for 79, and Mitchell Johnson, who was the icing on the cake, 73 from just 47 balls. Andre Fletcher on the right and Devon Smith on the left. Dale Richards opened the batting with Fletcher in the first game. He's not taking his place at the top of the order today. Brett Lee will kick things off from the Call-It drive-in here at the Wanderers. Devon Smith is on strike and two slips are in waiting. And 4 off the first ball, guided nicely by Devon Smith. Good control. Probably the most experienced of a specialist batsman in this West Indies lineup, so a lot will depend on him.
Bit of a gift there from Brett Lee to start with. Devon Smith really just dabbed it into the gap. Wasn't what you'd call a cut shot. Nice little gift, short and outside off stump.
8 runs in 2 balls, and that may have come off the legs. Leg buys, yes. Nevertheless, the total racks up to 8.
Exactly the opposite of the start we saw in Australia's innings. First ball was a rip roarer from Kemar Roach. He might have been a bit unlucky there, Devon Smith. He might have actually got a bit of a touch on that.
Played well. It's the second time so far in this innings that Smith has gotten room and punched it for 4. In fact, the first ball of the innings went for 4 off Brett Lee.
Well, that one absolutely raced away to the boundary. That was hit right off the middle of the bat. The previous one was a bit of a dab shot. Nothing dab about that. That was a full-blooded cut.
There we go. He's middled one, and it should run away for 4. He put the curse on Brett Lee. 5 overs gone, 30 without loss. That's flown past. Again, they give Devon Smith room outside the off stump. And he did that against Pakistan a couple of times the other night. Gould came around the wicket to tighten the angle. And he's certainly strong there.
Hussey threw himself, couldn't get a hand on it. Might have been fortunate for him because it was hit hard. On that occasion, he played it much more off the back foot.
Now there's an appeal, there's a noise, and the finger goes up. It's the end of Devon Smith, and we talked about the ability of Siddle to change his length and to be really aggressive at times. Change his length wonderfully, and the line of it was good.
Going to be interested to see what he's got on this, because it went above head height. He's got the bat on it. A little bit unlucky there, really. You get a bit of bat on one that's that high. Usually you would expect it to carry over the top of the keeper's head. Siddle's got the first breakthrough with 38 on the board.
Travis Dowling replaces Devon Smith.
Good looking shot from Travis Dowling, and it gets him off the mark. 7 gone, 45 for 1.
Looking for the Yorker again, but this time it was a half volley. Well struck through the covers by Dowling.
It's gone way up in the air, and how much distance has it got? It's 1 bounce, 4. What a shot. Bowlers don't like that. 8 gone, 51 for 1.
This is an excellent stroke. Not a great deal wrong with the delivery. But Fletcher on the up, hitting straight through the line. Very good weight transfer through the shot.
50 up for the Windies, 51 for 1. Well, that is flashed away, square for 4. That's the answer from Travis Dowling.
Well, it was a terrific first delivery by Mitchell Johnson. Not such a good follow-up. A long half volley outside off stump. Good stroke.
Well, that's a slap. Slap off the bat and a slap in the face.
Unusual stroke, but very effective. Fletcher gets his 3rd boundary. Siddle can hardly believe his eyes. This was just short of a length outside off stump, so he just whacked it around, took it from out there.
Forehand cross court, gets the winner.
Top spin added to it as well.
Inside edge. That'll be 4. Fortune for Darwin. Moves through to 17.
So you can see the ball is racing out to this outfield. Inside edge, just sped away. It's coming back to him. That's what Watson's trying to do most of the time. Bring the ball back to the right-hander.
Good strike. And boundary 4 for Fletcher.
Over pitching, but not by much. That shows how easy it is on this pitch when you over pitch. Plenty of time for him. He used his bottom hand a lot. Just got underneath it, scooped it up over the infield.
78 for 1. Fletcher 29. Dowling 17. The man out was Smith for 17. It's going to be Shane Watson to continue from the golf course end. Wow, that is big over mid-wicket. Really big. He got the length he was looking for, Fletcher, and just cleared the hips and put it away.
Yes, he absolutely cracked it. That's the way you normally treat an off-spinner. Just got the foot down the track, opened it out a little bit so that he could swing the bat, full swing of the bat down to that deep mid-wicket area, right into the stands. Big six.
Slower ball. Pick up one. That's good running. Man at mid-off just a little bit stuck on his heels.
Yes, that was again good running. Not hit too hard. Made sure that it was just a push. Just a push. And then he took off with the stroke, realizing that mid-off was a little bit back and also slow to take off. It's good cricket by the West Indians, by this pair. 49 the partnership now.
Pulled away nicely, really nicely. One bounce, 4 runs. And that is the 50 partnership. 53 it moves on to now from 62 deliveries, 16 overs gone, and it's 91 for 1.
Yes, both players have played well. Fletcher is on 37 of 48 deliveries. Dowling 22 of 32. Both players have hit 4 boundaries each.
And that single will bring up the 100 for the West Indies, coming up in the 20th over. So a good effort so far. I've just got to continue on with it.
Yes, you could say the game is well positioned.
Oh, good running off the thigh pad. Well, Tony Hill says no shot.
Yes, possibly didn't bring the bat down. It's got a little bit of extra bounce here. Oh, well, pretty unlucky, I'd say.
Well, he's played a shot at that. He's tried to turn that around the leg side. He hasn't exactly pulled the bat away from it. That's a bit harsh.
See, boys, close here. Come on, Ritzy, come on, Aussies. 2-3 here, boys.
Almost hit that one straight back to Nathan Horrocks.
Yeah, Fletcher might have been home there. That was one of his better runs, started immediately.
Yep, good response on that occasion. You had to be going straight away. Nathan Horrocks did well. So the West Indies got someone in the middle to late order who could really launch an attack.
It's a 50 for Andre Fletcher. He's second in one-day internationals. Another good achievement for a young man from Grenada. His first 50 came against Bangladesh early on this year. It's about kicking on. There's another well-run single. 6 singles off the over. 122 for 1. Contest on here with 9 wickets in the tank for the West Indies. We need a runner ball from here. Things looking pretty flat now. Fletcher, Andre Fletcher. I talked about his naivety with his running. And that is a good indication there again. I don't think the third umpire needs to be called for. Fletcher was out by a long way. Very, very naive runner between the wickets.
And if he wasn't short of his ground, he was in the air anyhow because he was jumping to avoid the ball, which he thought might hit him. But like you, Ian, I don't think he was anywhere near the crease. Terrific throw from Mitchell Johnson. Fletcher it was on the back foot a bit when he hit it, so he was always going to struggle. A good innings has come to a sad end. Fletcher is gone for 54, and the West Indies are 124 for 2.
Another change in the batting order, something of a surprise. Chadwick Walton, the wicket-keeper, a man out of Jamaica who played for the combined campuses and colleges in the first-class competition. No, that could speed away for 4. It's inadvertent. There is a slip in place. It's inadvertent from Dowling, but it's such a quick outfield, and it's not the longest down a third man.
Very, very quick down there. Brett Lee is bowling quickly.
That is the end of that. Chadwick Walton goes, and I have to admit I was very surprised given his track record as to why he came in where he did, averaging 3 against Bangladesh and a not hit a few nights ago, but he perishes.
Well, James Hopes always seems to make a contribution. That's a pretty wild shot for a guy who's just come to the crease. It's 128 for 3.
Floyd Reefer, the captain, is the new batsman replacing Chadwick Walton.
Australia just taking control of the match. Off the outside edge this time though for a boundary.
Well, these big bats these days, and they have wonderful middles. You're only going to get something on it, and if it beats that inner ring, it's gone. Fast outfield, chopped away, and it's gone very fast for 4. A little bit of width from Johnson, and Floyd Reefer needs a few more of these. He's got to step on the rate.
Not where he intended it to go, but he flashed hard, came off the outside edge and flew past first slip. He was looking more square of the wicket, but he was too late on the shot.
It's down the leg side, so Johnson's spraying it, and that's another boundary. Was it leg by? Yes, it was leg bys, but there's still runs for the West Indies, and that was a good over for them. 10 runs from the over. 32 gone, 157 for 3. And there's another example of Johnson bowling both sides of the stumps. It's difficult for the fielding captain to set fields. Missed out. Floyd Reefer missed out on a full toss, although bowled at this pace, it's not easy. But half century then for Travis Dowling.
That should go down towards it's taken. Brilliant. What a catch. I thought that was gone for a minute. I really did. But what a catch by Payne. He backpedaled, went quickly, committed himself, and that's a wicket falling in the power play.
Wow, terrific catch. Like you, Bish, I thought it was a thinner edge and it had gone a long way, but it really went straight up almost. And not easy for keeper Tim Payne. He's had to turn. You're running backwards. It's really, really hard. So Travis Dowling goes for a well-played 55, and the West Indies 170 for 4.
Dave Bernard comes to the crease. That's not as good. And a 5 wides. Brett Lee has really struggled with consistency of direction today. I won't sort of want to repeat what Payne said. It's not the watershed.
Yeah, this one seamed, really seamed, and it was just out of the reach of Tim Payne.
Now that one has gone over the slips before. couple of times today you sort of expected these top edges to fly. This time it's gone for Bernard. 183 for 4.
Yeah, he wasn't in the right position, Bernard, but it worked for him. Bounced and seemed back at him. And that one did fly away. Just a couple of bounces and away for 4.
Oh, knocked over Bernard. That is the ideal way to bowl in this situation when batsmen are going to go for it. Full and straight. Perfect execution.
Yeah, fantastic Yorker. No chance for Bernard. He looked to give himself some room. Carve it away over long off or long on. And Peter Siddle right on the money. You cannot hit those. Too much room. Siddle strikes in the power play, in the batting power play. So huge wicket for the Australians. West Indies 187 for 5. Bernard goes for 8.
Darren Sammy replaces Dave Bernard.
That's a good shot. That is a good shot from Floyd Reefer. Finally a boundary for him in the power play. It finishes the power play and it finishes the 41st over, 198 for 5.
Nice strike from Sammy. That'll travel a long way. That is a big hit. Mentioned Bernard, who's departed along with Sammy as one of the power men that the West Indies will depend on down towards the end.
Wow, Darren Sammy just looked straight back down the wicket at Mitchell Johnson and said, right back at you. That was a really good strike. West Indies need more of that.
That could travel as well. It'll go for 6. Probably intended to hit it a little bit straighter, but he got a good and a half at the bat, and it does travel at altitude.
Well, what do I know? Telling him to go for a single. Darren Sammy says, I'll have a bit more, thanks very much. So he's decided that Mitchell Johnson is the man to go. He's picked it up well. And square leg thought he had a chance.
So big full toss, and it goes straight to that man at deep cover point. Hussey takes the catch. The umpires might confer here. Hang on a minute. Just hang on a minute. Was it a no ball in terms of height?
Well, he'd be a bit unlucky to get out like that. I mean, he's hit it like an absolute rocket. He's given the batsman out now, but you've got to feel unlucky when you smash one like that and you get caught on the boundary.
Good catch. He's hit it like a tracer bullet. Mike Hussey takes the catch, and unfortunately Sammy has gone for 20, and the West Indies 215 for 6. Nikita Miller's had a very good ICC Champions Trophy, a half century against Pakistan, and he bowled quite splendidly today, 2 for 24 in 10. He looks a very handy cricketer for the West Indies.
Well, the fact that Nikita Miller is facing gives you an indication of how well Darren Sammy hit this ball. He hit it like an absolute rocket. They didn't have time to cross. Pretty stiff when you hit one that well.
It's gone. Another catch, and the West Indies wickets are falling now in the cause. Watson strikes, and the West Indies 219 for 7. Floyd Reefer's long vigil at the crease comes to an end.
Once again, Reefer intending to hit the ball in front of the stumps, and it finishes up at backward point. He really is struggling for his timing and his form. It's 219 for 7.
New man is Kemar Roach, who took the wicket of Watson, the first ball of the match, so this is a chance for revenge for Shane Watson.
Catch it, Clarence!
That's gone up in the air. It should be a regulation catch. Skipper takes it, and the West Indies lose their 8th player. Miller's gone. No heroics from Nikita today. Smiles on Ponting's face. They might be costly smiles, though, with the over 8.
Well, he was looking for the sweep sort of to the mid-wicket area. They just got a top edge. A simple catch for Ricky Ponting, and it's 225 for 8.
It's another catch, and it's another wicket. Johnson takes the catch, and that could be it, because Dale Richards is injured. He won't be coming out. The West Indies are all out. They've lost 9 wickets, not the full 10. Australia are celebrating. The West Indies 225 for 9, and that is it. A win for Australia.
Well, Australia have got lucky on a couple of counts. They've scrambled out of this. I don't think they'll be too proud of the victory, but won't stop them taking the couple of points. So Australia made 275 for 8 thanks to Ricky Ponting. Magnificent innings from him, and then finished off beautifully by Mitchell Johnson with 73 not out. Nikita Miller bowled beautifully, 2 for 24. West Indies, well, they put up a fight, 225 for 9. Dowland and Fletcher, while they were going, you would have thought that the West Indies even had some chance of victory. But in the end, those hopes faded, and Australia won by 50 runs.